Let's talk about how the Congress continues to fearmonger as far as the Agnipath scheme is concerned. Remember, Irfan Ansari just a few days ago threatened with bloodshed, threatened the entire country of drowning in bloodshed. That's what he said a few days ago. And today, once again, another shocking remark coming in from him. Listen in.
चार साल के बाद अगर वो रिटायर हो जाएगा, रोजगार छीन ली जाएगी, तो वो क्या करेगा? बंदूक चलाना सीखेगा? लोग उनको यूज करेंगे कि हाँ भाई आ जाओ, इसका सुपारी लेगा। आप उनको आप ट्रेनिंग सिखा रहे हैं बंदूक का, उसके बाद वो लोग सुपारी लेगा कि हाँ भाई इसको मारो, उसको मारो, उसको मारो।
जिसके लिए बनाई है वो संतुष्ट हो जाए तो हमें क्या समस्या है, लेकिन जिसके लिए बनाई है वो बेचारा संतुष्ट नहीं है, वो चिल्ला रहा है, वो रो रहा है। तो जब तक वो रोएगा, हमारा ये दायित्व बनता है कि उसकी रोने की बात, उसके दुख का विषय जो है वो हम देश के सामने रखें। और इसमें सिर्फ नौजवानों की समस्या नहीं है, नौजवानों की तो बहुत बड़ी समस्या है, बड़ी गंभीर समस्या है। लेकिन जो चरित्र है, जो कैरेक्टर है हमारी फोर्सेस का, उस पर एक प्रश्न चिन्ह लग गया है। वो हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ा संकट का विषय है।
देखो, अग्निपथ ये तो 46,000 युवकों को वो क्या तैयार करके आरएसएस में लाना चाहते हैं, मुझे तो मालूम नहीं। कभी आपने सुना है क्या किसी देश में ऐसा हुआ है कि 4 साल ट्रेनिंग देना और छोड़ देना? यहाँ पर तो परमानेंट वैकेंसीज हैं। युवकों का जो आज हर जगह एजिटेटेड है, तो उनको अलग निकालने के लिए, उनका दिशा भटकाने के लिए ये काम कर रहे हैं।
Let me bring in my colleagues Madhav, and Samya also continues to stay on with us. Madhav, look at the language that is being used in such irresponsible statements being made by senior Congress leaders, questioning the character of our forces, saying there's a big question mark on their charitra, and leaders also calling it an RSS propaganda. Let me go across to Atul and Jan first up, joining us on the phone line. Atul, what do you make of these kind of back-to-back statements coming in, and very irresponsible statements on the face of it? Because, you know, there you have a lot of youngsters reacting very aggressively. The first 2 days, we saw a lot of violence take place across the country. Instead of calming everyone down and taking note of the situation, making sure that protests are held in a peaceful manner, this is how they're instigating the youth?
Can you give me some time to speak, as you have a long question you have raised?
Sure.
The point is this Agnipath Yojana has boiled the entire nation. Basically, in the armed forces and the paramilitary, the rural background people, rural India people, young men participate. Actually, rural India is boiling. In this situation, government of India must take a note of this one and understand what is really they have done. No government service, no social service, even Provident Fund, EPF, 4 years service is not a service. What sort of things has been introduced, one don't understand. But at the same time, when we are opposing it, we must have restraint on some of our ideas and the language.
But why is an attempt being made to bring in the forces?
But the question is this.
How can we question the character of our forces?
Character of the forces? Every day, Prime Minister is bringing armed forces, military, in his speech there here. He is trying to be different. We have never seen any Prime Minister all of a sudden, you see, bringing the defense forces into his speeches. He is making it. Why he is making it? Let us not politicalize our armed forces. That should be our understanding.
That's precisely the point. Why are we politicizing our armed forces? We've spoken to several defense experts and taken their reactions as well on the kind of comments that have been made, especially with regards to our forces and their character and and how they've been always placing their country first. But this is not how you politicize our armed forces. That's precisely the point that I'm trying to make. The Congress party is doing it repeatedly.
Like a warrior. He said in the Corona period, military people fought like a warrior, then he used the helicopters and jet things. All these things is just to politicalize the Indian army and the armed forces. I think Prime Minister should stop this idiotic nonsense, I say.
So you do condemn Salman Khurshid saying that, you know, there's a big question mark on the character of our forces?
No, I don't want to make such type of statement, but at the same time, I just want to advise the Prime Minister, don't bring in your speeches the armed forces every
why
time.
Why not, Atul Anjan? Why not?
Forces.
No, there's a problem that the Congress party has with the Modi government's decision. No, the armed forces are only fronting the clarification bit. They're coming out with reactions.
You are siding with the, RSS BJP pipeline. I am just asking, Indira Gandhi never asked when she won the battle of the Bangladesh.
No, Atul Anjan, one second. Who better than those officers who are currently serving? Who better than them to explain what lies ahead for the Agniveers?
No. There is no question. I don't want to go into argument with any officer. I salute them. But at the same time, I don't want a politicalization of the armed forces. Politicalization of armed forces, what we see today in Pakistan. That is the
Yet you're not condemning what Salman Khurshid has said.
No. The politicalization of armed forces in Pakistan, what we see today. So we do not want India that the Indian armed forces should be politicalized.
I'm asking you a very simple question, Mr. Atul Anjan. Senior Congress leader Salman Khurshid has said in clear words, there is a big question mark on the character of our forces. You refuse to condemn that statement. I'm asking you why.
They don't. No. In Myanmar, you politicize the armed forces.
Let's not talk about Myanmar and Pakistan. We're talking about India. We're talking about a democratic country and what has been said by some of the senior leaders in the opposition. Anyway, it's a very derogatory remark, an anti-forces remark. Atul Anjan, I'm going to have to leave it at that. Thank you for taking out your time and sharing that perspective.